Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Renee and I am with Real Home Renee. You can find me on Facebook on my business page, which is Real Home Renee, spelled R-E-N-A-E, or you can find me on Instagram. You can see some snapshots of everyday life on Instagram. Over on my Facebook page, I do furniture painting, home decor painting, and then, I'm a homeschool mom. So today I'm making a video because it's July 2020 and so many of my friends and family have made that decision to homeschool, and now they're like, what do we do? What do we do? So I have been homeschooling for a year. I'm a homeschool mom of two boys. I have a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old. So I'll have a third grader and pre-K early kindergartner this year. So having the second one, the kindergartner pre-K, that's going to be new for me. So I've been homeschooling for a year. My background, my story with homeschooling is we started homeschooling last year for my second grader for academic reasons, because we found out he has dyslexia and some other learning disabilities, and is also very, very smart. So trying to balance those two is often a challenge. So we chose the homeschool path, and I'm so grateful that we did, because now we're in this situation of everyone having to make some very hard decisions for educating their children. And I want to share with you, I'm not an expert on this, but I want to share with you our journey and our path, and maybe I can give you insight into where you want to go with this, how you want to do this. So I made some notes and I want to share some resources with you, really just how to get started. So first of all, I want to say you made this decision. It was a hard decision. Congratulations. This is, I have to say, hands down, the best decision we've ever made for our child and our home and our lifestyle. And I was scared to death this time last year of, what do I do? How do I do this? I can't educate my child. What am I gonna, what am I thinking? And guess what? I did it, and you can too. You can too, okay? You are the best person to teach your child, because, hey, guess what? You know your child, and you have your child's best interest at heart. Teachers and schools have to manage 25 other kids in the classroom. It's just not gonna be the same as with you educating your child and you giving the best to your child, okay? So it works, okay? And let me tell you something, there's no emergencies in education. Nobody's bleeding to death over doing long division, okay? Well, I hope not anyway. But anyway, there's no huge emergency, okay? So let's all take a deep breath. Let's all take a deep breath, because we need this right now. We need some sanity right now, right? Okay, let's take a deep breath, okay? So congratulations, you're on this journey. Take a deep breath. And here's one thing I want you to say with me. Repeat after me and say, home education is not the same as being in school. It's different, okay? It's different and it's exciting, and there's so many opportunities there. And I just want to share how to get started today, okay? So I made some notes. All right. I've seen so many people jumping on, looking at curriculum, okay? So what I want to say to you right now, stop. Don't look at curriculum right now. If you're just getting started, don't look at curriculum, okay? Because your mind is going to go, it's going to be blown, okay? There's so many resources out there. And I can tell you this because this is what I did last summer. I started looking at curriculum. And then I got really overwhelmed. And I said, I can't do this. There's so much out there. I can't do it. Or the next day I would be like, oh my gosh, there's so many pretty books and I want to buy all the things. And I'm hitting purchase, and I'm spending all this money on books that and didn't really work out for us. So I want to tell you that. Stop looking at curriculum right now. What you need to do is consider your goals for this year, okay? You may be homeschooling just for the year, just to get your kid through that. That's okay. I want you to cherish this time that you have with your kid because it's really valuable, okay? So you may be doing this for the long haul, and this may be your decision, that you had to make, and this is your start for a long-term homeschool journey, and that's fine too. You're going to figure this out as you go, and it's going to become your journey for your family. And I just want to encourage you because you can do this, okay? So one, don't start with curriculum, all right? Let's start with looking at what your goals are, okay? So one book, I'm going to share this book with you that really helped me. I came across this last year. It's Plan Your Year, okay? This is by Pam Barnhill. And she is a seasoned homeschool mom. And so she helped me plan out goals. So I started with our vision for our homeschool year and then goals. Okay, so start out with your vision. What do you want your year to look like? And you may just be saying, I just don't want it to be insane. Okay, and that's fine. But look at your goals. Okay, so a couple of things you want to look at is your child. How does your child learn best? What are his strengths? What are his weaknesses? What are her goals? Okay, so if she's older, she can help tell you what she wants to learn this year, right? So you kind of, your vision is going to be overall for your homeschool. This is what it's going to look like. This is what I want it to look like, okay? And then your goals are measurable. There are steps that you have to take to get to that vision, okay? So you want to piece it out by child and say, here are my goals for this child. Here are my goals for this child, okay? This is what I want them to learn. This is what they need to learn. Then you want to look at their strengths and weaknesses. What are they really strong in? What have they really excelled in? And what are their interests? So you want to really feed that and let them dive deeper into that. And then you have what's working? What's just medium right now? What do they do okay at? And they're just kind of, coasting by and they don't need a ton of help on. Then you look at that and say, okay, we'll stick with, these goals here to kind of keep it even flow. Then you say, okay, what do they really need help in? Okay, and in our case, last year, I knew that with the dyslexia, my child really needed help with phonics and reading and language arts. And so I chose a program for him that was very intense in those areas. Math, he does okay with. So I wasn't as focused on pulling, resources for math because I knew, we're okay. So basically for academics, you want to look at the 3 R's, okay? So writing, reading, arithmetic. And depending on the age of your children, that's going to vary as to, where they are in those things and where they need to be. So, all right, so you're looking at your goals, you're looking at your vision, okay? What you need to do now when it comes to picking resources and your curriculum and your tools that you're going to be using to get through this year, you want to go to your state requirements for homeschool, okay? So, for instance, we're in Georgia, so I can give you an example of how ours is set up. So all you need to do, Google, what are the requirements to homeschool in my state, okay? And it will pull up the Board of Education's requirements for your state, okay? Department of Education's requirements. So I just want to say, all right, so let me give you an example of what we have to do, okay? So you have to register to homeschool. Is a very, very quick online form that we submit, and we have to submit it by September 1st of every year, or if you're pulling your child out, I think it's within 30 days you have to submit it, okay? So you need to register, let them know your kid's gonna be doing home education with you, okay, at home. Okay, so, and then our state says you have to teach 5 subjects, okay? So you have math, you have English language arts, you have science, reading, social studies. So there's 5, okay? Social studies can encompass anything from history to geography, and that's up to you, okay? As long as you're teaching those 5 subjects, okay? You have to teach for 180 days throughout the year and 4.5 hours a day, okay? So let me talk to you about the 4.5 hours. Now, some of you are probably like, I've got to work full-time from home And when am I going to do 4.5 hours? Well, let me tell you, we do not sit at the table and learn for 4.5 hours at my house. We don't do that. I have two very busy little boys, and our lives are crazy busy, just like yours are. And we don't sit for 4.5 hours. You don't have to, okay? So it may be for table work, we're probably sitting down for 2 hours and maybe 2.5 hours, and we take breaks in between. The rest of it is outdoor play. Okay, I have them outside as much as possible. Get that PE in, right? Physical education. The other is chores. So they're learning life skills. They're also helping me in the kitchen for dinner, prepare meals. They're helping me with, groceries. I'll have them figure out my grocery list, help me with that. And so that's all part of the education. So that is included in your 4.5 hours, okay? I will say that Georgia is not a really strict state about homeschooling, okay? So we do have, but there are states that are. So you really need to check that out before you get going, see what your requirements are, see what you have to do, okay? So after you've done that, all right, so you've got your vision statement of kind of where you want to be at the end of this year. Ideal vision, okay? Does that mean it's going to play out that way? Probably not, okay? But you're going to get close. Okay, as long as you have your goals, your individual goals. And if you get this book, it will really help you do that. So it's got worksheets in here to kind of help you write everything down. So let me show you what I did. All right, so this is last year. This is just my, my brain dump onto for our goals last year, okay? What do you want your child to say about homeschool? What do you want them to do as adults? What are their skills, loves, and desires? Okay, so that's going to help you come up with the goals around your homeschool. What do you want them to think about you as a homeschool mom? That's kind of a question, right? What do you want them to feel about homeschooling? Okay, so these are some things you can think about as far as outcomes for the end of the year. How do you want to go about, doing that? So anyway, those, I did kind of a brain dump of where I wanted to be at the end of this year. And you know what? We got pretty close. So we worked through the goals that I had for him, and we did pretty well. And you will too. Okay, so you want to plan that out. Okay, you've got your subjects that you need to teach. You've got your requirements. Okay, so you need to know your reasons why, okay? You address your fears right now. You address your reasons why you're homeschooling, okay? And like I said, your reasons, this is part of and you need to write this down. You need to write this down because when things get hard, and they'll get hard, but anything worth doing is not gonna be real easy, right? Okay, so you need to write down your reasons for homeschooling, okay? And right now it could be that it's because you don't feel like you have any other options. Write that down, okay? Write down your fears. Write down what you want, the good things that you think will come from this too, okay? So keep that, because when things get hard, you want to reference that, okay? Your reasons. So to get started, if you are just looking for your kids to stay on grade level, you just want them to be caught up so when they go back to school next year, that they're on level with their peers. Then there are box style curriculum level, grade level programs that you can use, okay? You could do study.com, okay? Check out study.com. Check out Bookshark. Check out Easy Peasy Online Homeschool. We've used that. We've used parts and pieces from Easy Peasy Online Homeschool. And that's free, by the way. Sunlight. Time for Learning is an online program. Timberdoodle and Khan Academy, Khan Academy. Okay, so I will link some of those below. I'll also link Pam Barnhill's book. So look at some of those to get started. If you're just wanting a grade level program for your child, and you don't want it to be complicated where you're piecing things together, you can do that, okay? Do something like that. And if you just want to get them started there, get them started there, and then you can dig deeper if you want more, okay? So the way we do it, I piece our programs together, okay? Based on strengths, based on learning styles, based on what we want to learn and what he wants to learn. So I piece it together because I feel like that is the richest way for our homeschool to run and for them to learn, okay? So we piece it together, but you don't have to do that. There are all-in-one programs that you can use based on states or really national standards of where you need to be to keep up with traditional schooling, okay? So you can do that, all right? I would recommend you go to a website called Kathy Duffy Reviews, okay? And so she reviews all this homeschool curriculum that you've probably been wading through online, okay? So she reviews all those curriculums, and she puts a little red apple next to the ones that she says are her favorites, okay? So, and she'll give a description of each of the curriculums that are there. So I will link that below as well. When I piece our programs together, I look at what's out there. I also look at this book, Home Learning, year by year, okay? And there are some other books that you can get specific for each grade that tells you kind of what your child needs to learn at what level, okay? And again, do I go exactly by this? No, I do not. But I pull parts and pieces, and it gives me an idea of what we need to hit as far as learning. Now, the curriculums that you buy, I haven't seen one yet that doesn't adhere to a standard of education as far as being leveled, okay? So you're going to, if you follow curriculum, you're going to get pretty much grade level anyway, okay? But when I say I piece together our program, if I need to drop down a level for language arts, then I can do that. If I need to go up a level in science because he's advanced in science, then I can do that too, okay? So that's just, some ideas of how you can do it, okay? So then I would say get a routine going, okay? Or write down what you want your routine to be, okay? So right now, if you're working, you probably, you've got to fit in work and you've got to fit in school. So look at your day and say, what hours can I do? Can I sit down for an hour and do schoolwork with my kids? Or really carve out time slots during the day. It doesn't have to be an hour. Try to come up with some time slots during the day that you could sit down with your kids. I like to catch my kids and do reading and when I'm reading to them, if I'm reading through the curriculum, teaching the curriculum, I like to do it when they're eating. So they're sitting there, they're eating, lunchtime, breakfast. I get a lot of my reading done then because they're somewhat sitting. And I have a captive audience right there while they're eating. And their mouths are usually not like this all the time, So anyway, that's some ideas. It could be at dinner time as well. You could be reading at dinner time. So think about that, okay? The great thing about homeschool is you don't have to sit for all these hours during the day. You don't have to sit down from 7 to 3 and do schoolwork. That's not what it's about, okay? So homeschooling is very flexible in what you can teach, how you teach, when you teach, where you teach. You can sit in your backyard and go to the park, in the car. We listen to DVDs, in the car. So, there are different ways to do it, and you will flush that out and you'll figure out what works, okay? So I would say create your schedule or routine, okay? So sit down, look at your day and say, this is when I need to be working for my employer or myself, and then these are the hours that we can fit in some homeschool, okay? So when you're not schooling, sitting down at the table, schooling, reading, writing, whatever, have them watch some educational DVDs or use some educational apps. And that is all part of schooling as well. Okay, so there are different ways that you can do it. So look at your hours that you have to fit in some schoolwork time. Okay, we do it probably 15, 20 minutes at a time per subject. Okay, and then we break and then we'll go on to something else. Okay, and so look at that. Sit down with your family. Go through it. Everybody agrees, okay, this is what we're going to try. This is how we're going to try to do this, okay? So sit down with your husband, with your kids, and say, this is how we need to work it right now, okay? So let's everybody get on board. Let's try this schedule, okay? And so I've got some workbooks here. So if you're looking just to get started, if you're looking just to get started, here's what I would recommend. So those all-in-one workbooks, you can find them just about anywhere now. I usually get mine at Costco. You can find them at Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, any place. So this is the one I bought for my third grader this year, $7.99. It is based on national standards. It's just like it's worksheets in here, right? Okay, so you can say, hey, we're going to try out our schedule. You can use these books and say, let's start working on this. Okay, you know what? Some people homeschool just from these books and, reading books from the library. You can do that too if you want to do that. But to get started, use something like this. Try your schedule, okay? And just try it out with some books like this. This is what I got for my pre-K kindergartner guy, okay? So I thought these would be fun, that they would enjoy. These are by Carson DeLosa, okay? Which is a good publisher for these all-in-one books as well. Dollar Store has some great workbooks, okay? So things like this. Do 1-2 worksheets at a setting, okay? And you can do these very easily, okay? Here's one on subtraction. I bought these last year, and so right now my son's working on the multiplication book. So this is all from Dollar Store, okay? So have them do some worksheets to kind of get your schedule and get your schedule going. These morning starter books from Dollar Store are great. This is kind of an all-in-one warm-up, right? Sight words, you've got what's your sign, morning math. So you've got a little bit of everything on the morning starters. You do like 1 page a day, okay? Here's another comprehensive workbook that I bought last summer. Okay, and this is by Scholastic. I really like their books, okay? And again, they're Common Core, they're based national standards. What I ended up doing, because we bought curriculum, so I didn't use this book, but what I did was end up, I would give him, for a little bit of extra practice, I would use some of these worksheets out of here. But if you want to get started with these, get started with these. So anyway, I hope that helps. I'm going to be doing some more videos on getting started. I'm going to be doing curriculum videos. I've already picked the curriculum for this year for us, and I will be sharing that with you as well. If I can help you answer any questions, please message me. I hope this helps get you started, okay? So the hardest thing is going to be getting started in any project, and that's what a homeschool is. So I wish you all the best. Okay, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because I'm going to have so many more great videos coming out, okay? So thanks, you guys. Have a great day.